By the way, if this is the first video you're watching, this probably makes no sense. You need to watch my last video and then rewatch this video, and then maybe it'll make more sense. I should have said that in the beginning. Wow, I'm so good at this. I already know what you're thinking. Katie, where's the wine? Where's the Jameson? Guys, I don't drink as much as you think, okay? I drink way more. Kidding. I really know what you're thinking. How did you go from that to moving to Vegas with Ben? Well, I'm here to tell you the second part of the story. I'm getting ready for work. We got a lot of work to do. Once again, I'm just gonna be doing my makeup in this video. I'm not teaching anything. I'm sorry. If you guys came here to like learn about makeup, it's coming. I have to like get some stuff out of the way first. Because I know a lot of you guys are confused as to like what my life is all about. Why am I in Vegas half the time? Why am I in LA half the time? Why am I all over the place? I'm just getting the groundwork done, you know? So where do we leave off? We left off with me getting my MacBook smashed, Ben getting his PlayStation smashed. So the story basically ends with me leaving. As I was walking out the door, he was like, "Are you gonna tell me what's going on?" And I was like, you know what? I'll tweet about it. At that point, he definitely knew. I'm not the kind of person that likes to like talk about things when I'm angry. I like to kind of remove myself from the situation and then go back and talk about it later. You can't really fight fire in a burning building. I think he went to his parents' house or something. I'm really not sure. After about a month, he had reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, listen, can I please talk?" I'm not the kind of person who likes to silence people. I think one of the things that really trips people out when you have a falling out is not being able to speak your piece or say whatever you wanted to say. And I would never want to make someone feel that way. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, we'll sit down and we'll talk. He was very remorseful. And he said to me that when he had talked to me about going to Vegas, and I kind of just shut that idea down without even like contemplating it. He just knew that we were kind of done. I was like, dude, listen, I don't blame you. I understand that. But what I'm saying is you should have just removed yourself from the situation. I just felt like I looked like an idiot because people didn't really know our business. He said that he took that month and really thought about things. He was like, listen, hear me out. Things have been really bad. And it kind of sucks because I got laid off right after we started dating. And you know, who knows what could have happened if like all of this didn't happen. He was like, do me a favor. Come to Vegas with me. Just see if you like it. If you like it, then come. And if you don't like it, then don't come. I was like, you know what? Okay. He went on his interview, and at his interview, I ended up meeting with the beverage manager. That she ended up like, offering me a job and telling me that she would hire me. So I was like, could I see myself in Vegas? Or maybe we could have like a second chance and a second start if he was in a better place, making better money, not so depressed, not just sitting on a couch playing video games every day. Long story short, I ended up actually liking Vegas and we ended up moving there. Now, he loved his job. I, on the other hand, went from working 2 jobs that I really, really loved in Pennsylvania to now working 1 job that I didn't. It's not that I didn't like the job, it was just that I took the biggest pay cut. I went from killing it to making little to nothing. So now I was the one that was unhappy and I was the one that was struggling. Wow, that looks so intense in the monitor. Look at the monitor. Let's fix this up a little bit. I remember the day that we got there, pulling up to the apartment that we had rented and literally just sitting on the steps and crying because I was like, I just didn't know if I was making the right decision. It was really scary. You know, I moved away from home when I was 18 years old, but I didn't like ever move out of the state or move more than like an hour from my family. I definitely thought that things would be different with us when we moved, that things would change, but honestly, nothing changed. I felt like he had this attitude, like he thought that I would never leave. I was like, this is my fault. I am enabling this behavior, and now this is like a me issue. It's a him issue, but now it's also a me issue. I was thinking about just going back home. I was like, you know, I made a mistake. I'm just gonna go back home with my tail between my legs and be like, you know what? But when I was working at this new place in Vegas, one of the girls that I worked with had told me this new nightclub is opening up. It's called Omnia. It's gonna be sick. And I was like, I just cannot see myself working in a nightclub. But you know what, I'm gonna try it. Lo and behold, by some miracle of God, I ended up getting the job. When I tell you how grateful I was, you have no idea. I know it's not like my dream goal in life to be a cocktail server in Las Vegas, but I was working so much from the time I was 18. I was working 2 jobs. I was busting my ass. At one point, I was literally waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, scrubbing toilets from 7 a.m. until about 3 o'clock, and then going home, showering really quick, changing, going to waitress from 4 p.m. until about 9 p.m., sleeping, waking up at 6:30 and then doing it all over again. I was always working so much and I was making good money, but I had no life. And then when I got the job at Omnia, I remember working opening night and being like, holy crap, I feel like I'm like getting emotional even like thinking about it, but it was so insane to me. The girls were doing money and then we got handed our envelopes to us. It was like $800. And I was like, holy shit. I actually cried. I just couldn't believe that I was making that kind of money. It was insane. I think the thing that I was like the most thankful for was it was kind of a light at the end of the tunnel for me. I felt like I had made such a huge mistake moving to Las Vegas, and then for that to happen to me, for me to fall into that job, I was just so incredibly grateful. I was like, okay, maybe this was how this was supposed to be. I wasn't working there very long at all before Ben and I finally went our separate ways. I just didn't really care at this point. I was just exhausted with fighting, and like I said, things really didn't change when I moved. And I was just like, you know what? You think that I just can't be without you, and I'm so tired of you thinking that, because I can be without you and I will be without you, and I'm just done. I know it took way longer than it should have, but to me, I think I needed to get to that point, because once I did leave, it was like the easiest thing I had ever done. I felt like I had given him so much of me that I just didn't have anything left. And then once he finally left, I felt like I just had myself back. Now there's definitely like a pretty cool ending to him and I. When him and I first broke up, I had this mentality that was just like, oh my God, I'm never dating anyone again. Like, I'm so done. I hate men. They suck. I'm not going through this shit. But I actually met a guy at this new job. I remember seeing him for the first time, and I turned to my friend Candace, and I didn't even know who he was. I had never spoken a word to him. She introduced me to him. I was like, hi, nice to meet you. I remember turning to Candace and looking at her and being like, I'm gonna marry him one day. Hand to God, those were my exact words. And long story short, guess who I started dating? Years later, we are still together. But an even cooler twist to the story, before Ben and I ever dated, we were kind of just friends. I remember him telling me about this girl. He said that they had kind of dated on and off for a while. For whatever reason, it just didn't work out. That girl ended up in Vegas like a year prior to him and I, and he ended up dating that girl after him and I broke up. When I think about it, I'm like, wow, maybe him and I moved out to Vegas so that I could meet Trevor and he would walk back into that girl's life. It's just like a cool ending to the story, you know? I feel like everything happened the way that it was supposed to happen. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the both of them. She's the sweetest girl. I met her a couple times. I wish them the best of luck. I ended up really happy, and so all's well that ends well. Now, I know a lot of people are like so confused with my life. I get so many DMs that are like, wait, you live in Vegas, but you live in LA, but you work in like what? To explain that a little bit, I still do live in Vegas. I don't think a lot of people know how I ended up living with Mykie or how that all came about. Remember that casino that I said that I worked at in Pennsylvania with Ben? Well, I also worked at that casino with Mykie. It's kind of a funny story because when we first met each other, she didn't really like me that much. I think I definitely just give off this impression that I'm this prissy ass bitch, but I'm like the least prissy of bitches. Once she got to know me, we became best friends. I feel like I have this thing where when I meet people, I can just tell that they're going to be a part of my life, and I just knew that I like loved her. And I knew that I wanted her to be my best friend. So I just bugged her until she liked me. And then we became inseparable. We would literally have sleepovers every single night. If I didn't sleep at her house, she would sleep at my house. We would drive to work together, and if we drove separate, then we would literally call each other on the way to work. Like, that's how inseparable we were. That girl has always just had the biggest dream. She started at the casino because she wanted to put away money to move to California. I've always admired that about her. When she has a goal in mind, she will do whatever it takes to make sure it happens. I've always been the more like reserved, weary one. But yes, she saved her money and she moved to California. When I ended up in Vegas and I was so close to her, she ended up inviting me to the Next Face Awards to be a guest of hers when she judged it after she had won. And I went, and I really loved California. Like, I loved it so much. And I was so inspired there. She ended up having this crazy idea, and she was like, why don't you move to California with me? And I was like, girl, what am I gonna do in California? And she was like, well, why don't you do YouTube? You always wanted to do YouTube. You started a long time ago, and then you stopped and you never started again. And it's true, it just like sucks because right after that all happened with Ben, I didn't have my MacBook, and then I ended up moving to Vegas, and there was just like so much going on, and I kind of just like gave up on all that. But she was like, girl, I'll help you and I'll be there for you. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move and I'm gonna start YouTube right away. And that was literally so long ago. It's crazy because I've been going back and forth to LA, and I had all the intention in the world on starting a channel right away and doing it again, but I was just scared, and I've been scared this whole time because, to be completely honest, I feel like I live like such a simple life. I didn't know if I was ready to open that Pandora's box of letting people just judge me and say whatever they want about me. I've totally just been scared of what people are gonna think and what people are gonna say, and I'm a lot older now. I feel like I'm starting so late, and I second guess myself, and I'm like, can I really do this? Or are people gonna like me? Or are people gonna be like, what is she doing? I definitely am my own worst enemy when it comes to that. Even just filming videos with Mykie, I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've looked in the comments and just been like, oh my God. And she's like, oh my God, Katie, you might have, you know, 100 negative comments about you, but there's 1,000 positive ones, and you can't focus on the negative. When I do look in the comments and I do see negative ones, I do see a bunch of positive ones, and I think it's so cool that so many people already have followed me and have been so encouraging. Literally every single picture that I post on Instagram, everyone's like, where's your channel? When are you gonna start? And I've just been in my head this whole entire time. The one thing that got me so addicted to makeup was just doing it on other people and then seeing their reactions and seeing how happy they were and how beautiful they felt and how confident they felt, and how you can literally turn someone's mood around just by making them feel beautiful from the inside out. Guys, are you kidding? This is what we're gonna do now? You guys have been good this whole time. I'm so into just art and being creative, and one of my favorite things in the world to do is just like sit down and play with makeup. If I can do that and help people or help anyone, then I will feel like it's worth it. I just have to keep telling myself, focus on the positive, focus on the people that like you and say nice things, and those are the ones that matter. And the people that are being negative, they're just projecting. You don't ever know what people are going through, and like maybe someone is leaving a mean comment on a video because they're just having a really shitty day. Maybe it makes them feel better to freaking like say that I'm ugly and I sound like Paris Hilton, you know, like maybe that made them feel better. So like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna finish my brows really quick because it's like another thing that I cannot do if I'm talking. All right, I know that they say that brows are sisters and not twins, but my brows are like second cousins twice removed, okay? So there's that, but they are on. So moving right along. Where were we? Something that Mykie said to me recently that really resonated with me was that I need to take the island and burn my ships, or sink my ships, I don't know, something. Get rid of the ships, okay? And I feel like that really stuck with me because, sorry, I keep doing these things where like I can't speak while I'm doing them. Anyway, that really resonated with me because if you want to conquer something, you need to just go after it, and you need to make failure not be an option, you know? Take the island and burn your ships. I feel like the craziest part of all of this is just the fact that this whole entire time I've been so afraid of failing and so afraid of like letting people down that I failed to realize that right now I may be afraid of failing, but if I never actually try, then I will fail. You know, being a cheerleader on the sidelines has been really fun, and it's been so fulfilling, and I can't explain to you like how proud I am of Mykie and everything that she's accomplished, and she's like such a role model for me. Why am I so freaking like overly emotional? Like, I'm getting my period, this is not okay, and I feel like I'm like losing it. Being a cheerleader on the sidelines is great, and we all need to be that for each other, but I can't be afraid to get in the game. So I know these last two videos were kind of like all over the place. I know that there's probably dogs barking. I know that the audio is not that great. I know I'm looking at the freaking monitor. But for those of you that are watching, you don't know how much you mean to me, and I want to keep creating content. And if you guys have any ideas, then let me know, because I need a lot of ideas. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on for these last couple videos, and I definitely will get more into makeup and teaching and all of that stuff. I just thought this would be like an easy way to kind of break the ice and warm up. But yeah, if you would like to follow me on this experience, I'd really appreciate it. You can click the subscribe button. By the way, if this is the first video you're watching, this probably makes no sense. You need to watch my last video and then rewatch this video, and then maybe it'll make more sense. I should have said that in the beginning. Wow, I'm so good at this. I should have also introduced myself in the beginning of the video. We're learning. We'll get there. Anyway, I gotta go to work. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. The fuck was that? First of all, my spray tan in that video is unexcusable. I'm very sorry. I think that was like the tail end of my spray tan, you know. I feel like it lasts like a few days, and that was at the point where I should have just scrubbed it off and like given up. But besides all that, I've read through all the comments. It took me hours, okay, hours, all day actually. I started at like 2 o'clock and it is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 11:46, okay? I'm not in center, god damn it. I was not in center that whole entire video. I'm sorry if that bothered you, it bothered me, so I'm sorry. I was thinking about who I wanted to pick, right? And I was like, it'd be really awesome if I could give this to someone that was starting a YouTube channel. I know that like not everyone wants to start a YouTube channel. Some people just enjoy watching YouTube videos. And then I was like, well, maybe I can help a student. And I was like, well, not everybody's going to school. And then I was like, you know what? Just forget about what you want and forget about what you had planned in your head of who you wanted to pick or whatever, and just read through the comments. And the first one that really like pulled at my heartstrings was going to be the person that I picked. I just wanted it to be like the first comment that really hit home. Let me just get to it and read the person's comment that I picked. Kel Reyes _ commented, I like to share why I want to win. Okay, so I truly have such a hardworking husband who has been wanting the MacBook for the longest time. He is in the Army and he is an E2. Basically, he is at the bottom rank / pay-wise, so our money goes towards necessities and our children. We have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. He is thinking of doing online school to help him and his career. A laptop would be a necessity, but honestly, that is out of our budget at the moment. I would love to surprise him with this for Christmas. He never ever treats himself with his hard-earned money. He never asks for much. He only wants to keep working and providing for our little family always. I love him so much, and I can't explain in words how much I want this for him. Katie, please hear me out. I love you, girl, and I'm so glad you made a new channel. Now, let me tell you why I picked her. You know, with the holidays coming up, like this really is the season of giving, and I feel like there's so much importance in giving and being selfless and remembering that, you know, it might be super nice to receive, but it is so much better to give. The fact that I'm doing a giveaway and you wanted to win so that you could give it to your husband is like the sweetest, most touching thing in the world. And I know that so many people wanted to win, and I read so many comments, and if I could give out, you know, 3,000 MacBooks, I would give out 3,000 MacBooks, okay? But unfortunately, I am not rich AF, and I could only give out one. But if you didn't win, trust me, my favorite thing to do in the world is give. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I love surprising people. I love giving to people. I love taking care of people. Obviously, you just watch my video. Hopefully, as my channel continues, you know, I can give more. I will be sending the MacBook ASAP, okay? I'm literally going to pack my bags right now. I'm going to drive to Las Vegas. I'm going to wake up, edit this, upload my video, get my ass to the post office, and send it out to you right away. So thank you guys so much for all your entries. Thank you guys so much for all your support on my video. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'm literally blown away. This is like the best Christmas present ever. Okay, I'm tired as hell. I gotta go home. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.